And this is what I see, that a lot of mistakes being made, because a lot of companies think that, oh, we just need to open a bank account. There's no difference between banks, just open one. And then it will take care of every need that we have, because that's what they tell us. Don't you worry about anything. We get you.
Exactly.
We figure it out. Just don't worry about anything. Just pay the invoice at the end of the month and you are sorted. But this is not the case. You need to plan in the same way as you need to understand Google Ads in order to create a marketing plan. You still need to understand financial licensing, risk, technology in order to plan for your cash flow. And the payment framework is putting everything in an easy to follow 8-step breakdown, which is forcing all of those decision makers to ask those questions, which are absolutely important to build a strategy.
All right. So I have a question for you, because I know that you work with many clients and even public authorities. So how aligned are the EU member states right now? Especially in applying financial innovation regulation, because I know that you always say everything without filter, and that's why I'm asking you this. So, are there any cracks forming in the EU unified front?
A lot, because whatever happens on paper, it is not really reflected in real life. Whatever says on paper that, oh, it doesn't matter what kind of license you have, yes, it does. Because if you have a Maltese license, a Cypriot license, a French license, an Estonian license, those all have a different deemed or real risks connected to those license. And we are still talking about private institutions. A bank is working for a profit. A fintech company is definitely trying to make the shareholders rich. So their purpose is to make the most amount of profit with a limited amount of risk that
Yep.
they need to take. You see, the minimum risk, the maximum profit. So there are a lot of unspoken preferences or prejudice connected to certain licenses, certain jurisdictions, even team members. I had a lot of case when the shareholder or the director was from a certain country, and they said that, you know what, I know these people. What do you mean these people? Poor person who's just holding a passport of a certain country. I don't want
Yeah.
to work with them. Now, how reasonable is that? You don't know anything about the person. You see that that person was happened to born in a certain country that you don't have a preference to work with. You're right or wrong, it doesn't matter. It just shows that how subjective is this risk appetite. And it is not only just outside of EU, but within EU as well, unfortunately. We only work with our kind, so we are not taking certain licenses because we know them. So that's what I said at the beginning, that whatever is legal and whatever is right on paper, it is still not guaranteed that it is going to work in real life.
Okay. So what has been like a surprise for you about the evolution of fintech regulation and of course also innovation in the jurisdictions you cover this year? I think it's Cyprus and Malta, right? Or
Yes,
more?
but obviously I'm working with international clients, so I see all of those weird licenses too. And for me, the biggest surprise that, for example, a Canadian MSB is still on.